Technology has become ubiquitous in daily life, and keeping government databases and technology systems safe from cyber attacks is imperative. Senator Paul Anderson is author of a bill that would create a legislative commission on cybersecurity, and he now joins me in the studio. Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Considering the Google attacks last week, the possible international interference in both U.S. and French elections, how important is it that the state proactively work to protect government and citizen information?
Well, it's critical. I think you see in the Internet of Things, the world we live in is all driven virtually by technology. And so we have to do everything we can to build those protections on data, on privacy, so we can make sure those things are protected. And with regards to the state, you've got over 5 million citizens. That's a lot of data. We need to make sure we do everything we can to protect that data.
What will be the goals of the Legislative Commission?
So the Legislative Commission is made up of 4 members from the Senate, 4 members from the House, 2 from the majority, 2 from the minority in both houses. And the objective is mainly to have a working relationship with Minute on cybersecurity, but also have oversight and kind of a ongoing dialogue so we can understand the concerns, the security risks that are going on in our state on a daily basis, and then provide insight and recommendations for the full body.
Governor Dayton has proposed $125 million in his budget recommendations for this current budget cycle in cybersecurity infrastructure and to upgrade our antiquated software systems. The Pioneer Press did an article, I think, in March about how antiquated our systems are. How much funding should be directed? Is $125 million a good start? Where are you on the funding part for this current budget cycle?
Again, I think we have to listen to Minute. We have to listen to Chris Busey and the experts on this. But we also have to take an approach that the legislature is going to support. That's why, again, this commission, I think, is really important to understand to the depths of what is needed. Chris Busey has said, both in a committee that passed the commission, that he will work with whatever he gets, but we need to make sure the resources are there to protect our data and our information.
Do you care to speculate as to the appetite of lawmakers right now for putting some funding in this area?
Well, I think it's an ongoing in our negotiations, but I do believe we will have money in this in the final budget, and this is going to be something that the governor in this situation hopefully continues to fight for, because we need the funding.
How at risk is the state right now? What kinds of data can already be compromised without, giving away any secrets?
Well, there's data that, and again, Minute has talked about there's 3 million probes that attacks the state system. And you're talking about everything from state government, local government, university system. We've got a lot of networks out there. And so from Google attacks like you talked about, email spamming attacks, to you've got this new situation called ransomware, where folks are taking over, again, Internet of Things. So, for instance, they could take over the security of a hospital or something else and demand money. These are real situations that we just have to understand what we're dealing with and then properly respond as best we can, because it's not so much if we're going to be attacked or if we're going to get security threats, it's going to be when.
And how.
And how we respond. And that's really the big thing is the experts, their ability to respond quickly, trap them off, and so the damage is limited.
How do you keep the delicate balance, though, of improving government productivity and services through technology while maintaining the security? I mean, this is a really delicate balance here.
Right. And we're not turning back. We're not going to go back to books and writing.
And paper.
We are only going to advance further in technology. And government, when it was established, especially our forefathers, probably didn't have any idea of what we're facing today, but government was built to move slow. But we also have to very recognize all the technology and all this data and the security measures and continue to respond as best as we can to make sure our information is protected.
In a perfect world, what does keeping our data secure look like?
Well, I think it's building those security measures that does not allow the most damage to be done. It's kind of a frightening understanding for folks to think, well, there's going to be attacks, but you see it whether it's Home Depot or Target or these different measures. we have a situation here in Minnesota where we have a great staff of people at Minute working on this, but we only have approximately about 50 people in the state of Minnesota working on cybersecurity.
And many of them are older.
And yes, and in an interesting way, our antiquated system is harder to hack, which is not to justify that we continue down that road, but we've got people that are working on systems from the 70s and 80s that are harder to hack. As we move into a more advanced system, we need to make sure that we have the ability to respond. But again, getting back to about 50 folks in the state government working on cybersecurity. You've got banking institutes like US Bank that have 550 people working on cybersecurity. So we're not going to get to those levels, but we have to make sure we're paying attention to this. This is everything in the Internet of Things in our generation. We have to be responding to this.
So where is the bill right now? It passed the Senate. Is it coming up in the House? Will it stand alone?
Yeah, we're hopeful it passes out of the House and we can get this to the governor, because the next steps are that we would meet before the 15th of July. I think that's the appointments would happen by June 1st. We'd have our first meeting. We'd
Get started right away.
And we'd have 2 meetings yet this year, a minimum of 2 meetings, and then 3 meetings going forward. The idea is that this commission would sunset in 10 years, so we'd reevaluate after 10 years, keep going. But this is very important conversation to be had amongst the commission, and then again educating the committee and the full body going forward.
Senator Anderson, thanks so much for coming today.
Thanks for having me.